and Naoya Inoue.
With someone that has loaded gloves. This is not something that I'm making up. I have proof. And I have it in my phone that I have proof. Where they're wrapping the gloves.
Trying to establish his own offense, but getting himself out of position.
Short left hand chopped down here at the end of round number 6. Batley, the monster on the attack. Trying to claim 2 more belts as Fulton trying to grab the rope.
You see the shifting game plan already.
Right, go to the top, Timmy.
Yes, but you see the shifting game plan. Now Fulton now is looking to fight.
With an excessive amount of tape all the way up their hair first, and then they add the gauze, and then they add the tape.
The drama surrounding Naoya Inoue's rise to dominance is not just a story about a boxer winning fights. It is the saga of a young prodigy who walked into a sport defined by legends and walked out as the benchmark for an entire generation. From the earliest whispers of his name to the roaring proclamations of a once-in-a-lifetime fighter, Inoue's journey is layered with controversies, doubters, crushed favorites, unexpected villains, cold dismissals, and the unmistakable aura of a man who did not come to participate. He came to redefine what was possible inside a ring. From the moment he emerged on the world stage, boxing insiders spoke his name with a mix of curiosity and disbelief. Naoya Inoue, a young Japanese fighter who punched like a heavyweight but moved like a featherweight. A fighter whose timing seemed unreal, whose accuracy felt engineered rather than trained. They called him the Monster, but even that nickname seemed understated once he began tearing through divisions with surgical efficiency. Yet behind every spectacular knockout lies a shadow of debates, investigations, and tensions. And behind every victory lies the question boxing fans kept returning to. Was Inoue truly that good, or were the opponents simply not ready for the force he became? His climb into the international spotlight collided early with the towering presence of Jaime McDonnell. McDonnell, an already established champion, carried with him a reputation built on grit, size, and championship resilience. When the fight was announced, many believed Inoue had finally bitten off more than he could chew. McDonnell was taller, longer, far more experienced, and physically imposing. Analysts praised him as the toughest challenge of Inoue's career, and his supporters predicted that his sheer size would overwhelm the Japanese sensation. But what happened inside the ring was the complete opposite of everyone's expectations. The size advantage evaporated in seconds. Inoue walked through McDonnell as if the champion were made of paper. It wasn't just dominance, it was destruction. A shocking, abrupt, almost violent reminder to the boxing world that Inoue wasn't simply fast or powerful. He was operating on an entirely different plane. McDonnell's team, still stunned after the stoppage, acknowledged the power they felt. McDonnell himself would later admit that he had never been hit that hard by anyone in his life. This was the moment the world realized that the Monster nickname was not hype. It was a warning. But boxing, as always, is rarely straightforward. While Inoue continued to rise, other storylines twisted themselves into his narrative, none more complicated than the name Luis Nery. The Nery controversy echoed through the bantamweight landscape like a storm. Failed tests, accusations of unfair advantages, disagreements between federations, heated responses from Japan's boxing authorities. Nery became a polarizing figure almost overnight. His wins, especially over Shinsuke Yamanaka, were stained with questions. Fans demanded justice. Officials demanded accountability. And the conversation inevitably swirled around Inoue. Would he fight Nery? Should he fight Nery? Was Nery even eligible under the Japanese Federation's stance? While Nery fought in chaos, Inoue fought in clarity. Every punch he threw seemed purposeful, every fight a stepping stone toward something larger. And yet, the pressure around him grew. Some claimed he avoided Nery. Others insisted Nery avoided him. But the truth was simpler and more political. Japan did not welcome Nery after the controversies, and Inoue could not cross the Federation's lines without consequences. A rivalry existed without ever turning into a fight, its tension almost as dramatic as a battle itself. Outside of this storm were names like Emmanuel Rodriguez and Antonio Nieves, fighters who stepped into the ring knowing full well what awaited them. Rodriguez, one of the most technically polished fighters in his division, carried himself with pride and optimism. He promised to expose weaknesses, to break the aura, to show that Inoue was mortal. But reality had other plans. Inoue dismantled him with frightening coldness, dropping him repeatedly with body shots that sounded like explosions in the arena. Commentators fell silent. There was nothing left to analyze. It was pure supremacy. Antonio Nieves, similarly confident, spoke bravely before the fight. He believed he had found patterns in Inoue's style, angles he could exploit, lapses he could convert into opportunities. But once the first bell rang, the analysis evaporated. Nieves was simply not prepared for the precision, the speed, the accuracy, the power that snapped through him like a whip. Moments after the bout, he admitted that Inoue's timing was unlike anything he had ever felt. There was no shame in defeat, only acknowledgement of a higher level of skill. Amid the victories and controversies, another narrative quietly shaped Inoue's legacy. The figure of Warlito Perinas stood as a reminder of Inoue's earlier days, an opponent whose toughness highlighted the Japanese champion's growth from young sensation to global phenom. And then there was the subtle influence of Shingo Inoue, Naoya's father and trainer, whose discipline and vision sculpted the monster the world sees today. Shingo's guidance was strict but nurturing, his approach rooted in extracting perfection through repetition. He didn't merely teach boxing, he built a machine. Inoue's path soon led him to Stephen Fulton, a fighter who represented the American style of slick, strategic boxing. Fulton was seen as a stylistic puzzle, a man who could neutralize pressure, disrupt rhythm, and steal rounds with precision jabs and footwork. Many believed he would be the one to expose Inoue. They said Fulton had the IQ, the athleticism, the defense, and the experience needed to slow down the monster. But once again, the fight ended as all others had, with Inoue proving, conclusively, that no style could stop him. He was faster, stronger, more accurate. A complete fighter operating with the grace of a craftsman and the brutality of a destroyer. And through all of this, the comparisons to legends grew louder. Some spoke his name alongside Gennady Golovkin, praising the shared power and relentless pressure. Others invoked the poetry of Muhammad Ali, not in style, but in the sheer emotional impact he carried for his people. Ali inspired with words, Inoue inspired with silence. Ali floated, Inoue exploded. Two very different fighters, but both larger than life. Outside the ring, debates raged. Was Inoue the best fighter of the generation? Was he the most dominant? How would he fare against past greats? Fans argued passionately, and boxing historians watched with fascination as his legacy unfolded in real time. Because unlike mythical legends whose stories are told retrospectively, Inoue's story is happening now. Punch by punch, knockout by knockout, legacy by legacy. Controversies attempted to follow him, but he remained unmoved. He did not entertain theatrics. He did not engage in trash talk. He did not respond to accusations, rivalries, or instigations. Inoue fights with his gloves, not his mouth. And in a sport where noise often drowns out talent, his silence became his sharpest distinction. The drama surrounding Inoue's ascent is not merely about the opponents he defeated, but the clarity with which he defines his goals. While others crumble under pressure, Inoue thrives in it. While others seek attention, Inoue seeks perfection. While others chase fame, Inoue chases greatness. Every fighter who stepped into the ring with him, McDonnell, Nery, Nieves, Rodriguez, Fulton, became chapters in a much larger story. Some willingly, some unwillingly, some heroically, some controversially, but all inevitably. Because the truth is simple. You don't fight Inoue. You survive him. Or you don't. His punches tell stories. His knockouts echo across divisions. His discipline inspires even his rivals. And his legacy continues to grow with every fight. As the world watches, one thing becomes clear. Naoya Inoue is not just another champion. He is the standard by which future champions will be measured. His journey is not finished. His dominance is not over. And the drama surrounding the monster is only just beginning.